Okay, so I did finally decide to start modding my Skyrim Let's Play. I've installed actually a fair handful of mods. Some of them are a much bigger impact on the game than others. So let me open up the menu here and show you guys what exactly it is that I've installed. So, let's see if I can do this. Right. So right off the bat, I did install Skyrim, the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. Yeah, the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. Oh boy, that name is getting pretty long. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is one of those mods that, no matter what Bethesda game you're playing, it's usually a good idea to install. It's a mod made by, I think, the same group of people for almost every Bethesda game, and they just go through and they fix up all of the bugs, all of the glitches, and the possibility of quests breaking easily, stuff like that. It's starting to become less and less important, I think, as Bethesda gets a little bit better at stopping game-breaking bugs, but the unofficial patches always do a good job at just making sure that it's not even really a possibility. For the most part. It's not like it's going to stop every problem with the game, but the work that they do for this mod is phenomenal. It really is, and they're so quick about getting these mods out. I mean, the unofficial Fallout 4 patch was out so fast after that game came out. So it's pretty impressive stuff that they do, so thank you to all the mod authors responsible for this. Then I did install Lampposts of Skyrim. A little simple mod. This one just adds lampposts out to the streets. Well, they're not really streets. The cobblestone roads at places that make sense. So main roads leading in and out of a city, intersections that kind of branch off to different places, places where you'd expect there to be lampposts. It did always seem a little bit strange that you're supposed to have commerce between all these places and people traveling around, and there was never any lights for them. And actually, on that same note, Point the Way. This is something that, back when I was playing this game, even years ago when it first came out on the Xbox, this bugged me. The signposts in Skyrim are not great. They'll sometimes point to cities that you don't need the directions to, if that makes sense. It'll be pointing to a city all the way across the map, but what you're really looking for is the city right in front of you, and the sign is like pointing the wrong way, or it's not having anything on there, and it's incredibly difficult if you're looking for a small little town. You know, it's actually okay when you're trying to find your way to the main cities, but if you're trying to find Riverwood or Helgen or any of those smaller settlements, it was just a pain in the butt, unless you planned to look at your map constantly and just follow the roads that way. So this is a great mod. Love this mod. It's so easy to get around the world of Skyrim with this mod. So again, I love both of these mods for travel. Moving on, I've got Wet and Cold installed, and hopefully it's installed. I don't know why there's a circle loading thing there. It might just be getting set up still in my game. And this one, as you can kind of see, it adds drips from people if they're standing out in the rain or if they get out of the water. Soggy feet sound effects, so if you just finished swimming or you're from the rain, you'll hear your feet sound wet. Looking up at the rain will blind you periodically, just like if you were in real life to look up, you'd get water in your eyes. Recommend not doing that. If you're out in the cold, you'll see cold breath, so you'll see some kind of air coming out of people's mouths, and it's really neat when you're up in the mountains, or when the winter season starts happening in the game. You'll see snow accumulate on people's armor and around their hoods and helmets and stuff. Strong winds, so you'll actually receive a movement penalty if you're walking around in real heavy winds, so that's also really neat. And then blizzard blind, which is pretty similar to the snow blind, except this one happens if you are, I believe, looking in the direction of the blizzard. So yeah, like it says here, keep your face down or move into shelter to avoid getting blinded by a blizzard. So again, just like a real blizzard. These are just good advice for life up here. And then this does also kind of affect the NPC behavior a little bit. So if it's raining or if there's blizzards, NPCs will try and make their way back to somewhere safe, which is great. Love that. Next one, a little smaller mod, lore-based loading screens. So this one, this adds more information to the loading screens so that you're getting some different information while the game is loading. I try to edit those loading screens out, but it works good for me, you know, when I'm stuck there sitting there waiting for a loading screen to get through. It's something that I can kind of look at. Because a lot of the loading screens in Skyrim, it's not that they're bad, it's just that they're pretty short and they kind of talk about things that aren't that interesting. So lore-based loading screen is pretty good. It'll actually have like quotes from books throughout the world. It'll reference things that have happened in previous games or just previous history of the Elder Scrolls. They do a lot of research. If you look at their whole list here of, I think this is the people who, made this possible, all these people, so thank you to every single one of them. They did a lot of research, and if you look at their Nexus page or you take the time to read through the information here, you can see that they've gotten their information from a lot of different sources, and they've done a lot of research to make sure that it is correct and that it is contributing to the game of Skyrim. So that's great. And the final mod I got was Ordinator, which is actually a perk overhaul. This one I downloaded, again, because I mentioned I wanted to try using the Skyrim mod installation page. I'm not exactly sure what they're calling it. But, you know, the Skyrim workshop. Not the Steam workshop, but the Skyrim mod menu from the main menu. And this was actually one of the only major perk overhauls that's available right now. And it's great because you can use it on an existing game and it'll just refund you the amount of perk points that you've acquired up until the point of installation. And it's a great mod. I've never cared for the original Skyrim perk system. I mean, I like the perk idea of it, you know, looking up in the stars and getting perks. It's a lot of stats. It's a lot of pretty boring things. So this one makes it very interesting. I took a quick look even in the illusion tree, which I mentioned I wanted to do for this playthrough, and I saw things like casting any magic is silent now. Things like that. So it makes it a little bit more interesting. So when you're going down the skill lines, it's actually changing the way that you play the game, which is great. That's pretty much what you're always wanting to look for in a perk overhaul. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the mods I'm using right now. Things are just kind of kicking off still for Skyrim here on the Special Edition. So I'm expecting a lot more mod overhauls and some more interesting stuff to come out. And, you know, mod authors just updating their mods for the Skyrim Special Edition. So we should be seeing a lot of that stuff coming out soon as well. And yeah, that wraps this up for me, guys. Make sure you check out my episode 3 when it comes out. This video will be getting uploaded along episode 2, so keep an eye out for that one. That'll be out today. And then check back tomorrow for my Fallout 4 episode, and then the next day I'll be carrying on my Skyrim Let's Play. So alternating days like that. Okay, see you all next time.